Hey friends, welcome back. Today we are in the front garden and I've been meaning to do something for a long time. And it is putting one of my favorite plants, my favorite bulbs in the ground. And this is one that I don't think we see get enough airtime. But today we're talking Iris reticulata because I love this bulb. Not only is it one of the first bulbs up and at 'em when late winter hits. So think it's like a really good companion for snowdrops or crocuses, but it also is just so unusual. And it's great for kind of getting up close and personal with your garden because she is also very tiny. So when I was at Costco all those months ago, I actually purchased a whole bunch of Iris reticulata, and you can see right here, it's JS Dijt. Now, this is a really fun one, and you're gonna notice it's not in the Costco packaging. I repackage all my bulbs that I buy at Costco, and then I pop them in my garage so that I can store them until I'm done installing all of my clients' bulbs, because every year I want to put my focus there and mine always get pushed to last. So all that to say, let me show you what we're working with today. They are in such good condition. And so if you haven't watched that video of like what to do with the Costco bulbs after you buy them, I will link it below because this saves my money every year. Here we are. Look at this tiny little cutie. So this is an Iris reticulata, and like I said, this particular variety is called JS Dijt. I actually have 3 that I really love. This one actually goes with kind of like my spring display up here because it's a deep, almost like a plummy purple. It's really amazing. And I feel like it goes really well with the color story that I have planted, which is the Slawa tulip, so S-L-A-W-A, as well as a tulip called Triumph Continental. And then I also have a narcissus called Geranium up here. And then I also have a little tiny white one called Thalia that is also planted up here. So having something again in that deep like plummy purple is so key. I also want to show you kind of a reason why it is going up in this front walkway, because when you are working with a miniature bulb like this, you got to be mindful of like where you're putting it so people can actually see it and enjoy it. So here we are. This is the front walkway to my front door. And what I currently have planted is, this is a row of miniature boxwoods. This is the classic. So this is Buxus sempervirens fruticosa. And this is the true dwarf English boxwood. And they are so cute. You guys, these were from my very first Northwest Flower and Garden Festival show, and they've gotten so big. They're so cute. But because I have this little petite border, I can't put a lot of large bulbs in here because they just simply won't look right. Instead, I want to lean in to the dwarf nature of these little cuties and just have a mass of adorable tiny bulbs coming up in the late winter and the early spring. I already have white Thalia that is planted here. It's like this adorable little tiny white daffodil. And so I think the JS Dijt, the Iris reticulata, is going to be the perfect match. Now I'm going to plant them in 2 other spots on my property as well. The other 2 spots are ones that are heavy hitters. So first and foremost, because this blooms so early, I want to put this in high traffic areas. And this is what I recommend to most of my clients as well. Let's put the most early bloomers in your high traffic areas so you get that like nice shot of hope after a long winter. So front walkway is a key moment. The second key moment is actually down in my lower garden area. I'm gonna plant them kind of at the top of the little rockery area, because the other thing about playing with miniature bulbs is you wanna elevate them. So this is a really good candidate for top of a rockery or in containers. This is a lovely one. You can even force this one. So you can plant it in a little pot, throw it somewhere dark and cool like a basement or a garage for 10 to 12 weeks. And then once it's through that chill period, then you can start bringing it inside and having it wake up. It only lasts about a week indoors, so it's not one that's gonna give you a ton of bloom time, but it still is really fun to play with. So let's talk about how we're actually gonna work with these and kind of like the vision that I have for my front door. So whenever I work with a miniature bulb, I always think like the tinier it is, the more we need of them. And I hear a lot of kind of people use the term like plant it in mass or plant it in a drift. And that's really good advice, but it doesn't really give you something granular to hang on to. So when we are talking about my little Iris reticulata, I'm gonna plant these in groups of at least 15 to 20. Now, if you've got more space, plant them in a drift of 100. Oh my gosh, that would be so insane underneath like a tree. By the way, our Iris reticulata, they do best in full sun, they can do part sun, and they come up and they're tiny little blades of grass and just like a bright, happy floral. There are 3 that I really love to play with when I do design work. JS Dijt is one that is like deep and like that plummy purple that we talked about. There's also Harmony. This is for someone who wants a traditional blue iris. It's not one that I typically gravitate towards, but if you are a blue person, this is your blue. The other 2 are really dreamy ones, and actually I want to order them for next year and pop them in a couple other places around the landscape. The first is called Catherine Hodgkin. It's so good. It is so good. It is very like muted and moody and just lovely. The other one is called Painted Lady. Again, moody, lovely, very more washed out in like all the best ways. It's like so, so good. But up here, my color story for the spring is a lot more punchy. And I do work with a lot of those plummy purples. And so we are gonna plant this little cutie with a lot of impact up here. So when I'm working with these, again, 3 to 4 inches deep, I'm probably just gonna use my Hori Hori for this round because I'm gonna be working with, instead of planting them in mass, I like to call it an amorphous blob. So when I plant these through, I think about what would an amoeba look like? And to me, an amoeba, like if you think about it moving through a petri dish, it's kind of like there's some undulation to it and it's a little bit blobby. So that is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start by laying out my little blobs, and I kind of like the fact that they might start forward and move their way in between some of the boxwoods, because I love that back and forth. If I were to just do like circles of them, it wouldn't make a lot of sense and it wouldn't feel organic to me. And then when I chuck these in the ground, obviously pointy end goes up. You can see the little growth point there. It's just so cute. But I feel like also bulbs are so smart that you can just chuck them in any which way and they're gonna be fine. The one caveat is you just want some free draining soil. So if you have really heavy clay, bulbs are gonna be a challenge for you, but most of the rest of us, we're gonna be okay. And as you know, I've got super sandy soil, so no problem here. For a frame of reference, I just threw down about 150 bulbs. So, I mean, these are small. You're gonna go through so many more than you think. So if you have a small project, I mean, it would not be out of the norm to buy 100 bulbs. Like, you're gonna go through them, trust me. Buy more than you think you're gonna need because you're gonna be regretting it if you don't order enough. Let me show you the placement. I want it to be a little haphazard. I want it to be a little unstructured, and I want it to feel like it's not even Steven. It's not posed, you know what I mean? Coming up to the front door, you can see I've got a ton right there. I've got another huge drift here. And then the other thing I've done is I've tucked some back in there and back on that side as well. So you get like a really good sense of the back and forth. And in fact, you know what I might do? This is feeling too samey. So I think I might actually take these guys and add them to other piles because I want it to feel like it's a bit more haphazard. It's a bit more organic. So you can see I've done a giant clump there, and I will have these kind of like, probably I'll put these ones over here so it trails back in a little bit more. And then you can see I've done a big impact here right on that corner, and I'll trail that around, and then I've put a couple on the other side as well so we get some nice dimension. And then same thing over on this side. You can see I've put them all in a big clump here, but I'm gonna weave them back, kind of coming into both sides. So we're gonna have a little bit of a Y shape in there. We've got some planting to do. Okay, not bad at all. I feel like I'm playing beat the clock because do you see how that low that sun is on the horizon? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna zip into the back real quick, and in the back, I don't really have a lot planted, right? So I'm not fearing that I'm gonna run into other bulbs or irrigation lines or anything like that, because that is just like a blank slate. So I'm gonna grab my power planter and we're gonna head back there, and I'm just gonna chuck some things in, and it's gonna be glorious. Okay, done. That was so fast. Okay, I've got one more little spot that I want to tuck just a few, and I wonder how many I have left. Oh, I only have like 20 left. Okay, that's not a very big impact moment, but we're still gonna go for it. Okay, here is the other spot. This is the corner that I redid recently. Of course, over there you can see more bulbs. I was feeling overly ambitious today, so those are going back in the garage. But I think this is where I want to do just a little moment for all of those Iris reticulata. One round of bulbs is done and in the ground. You guys, this has taken forever. Literally, we're at the beginning of December and I'm just now getting my bulbs in the ground, but I feel really good that I got all my clients done first. So Iris reticulata, marking all of my kind of like entry points to the house so that as winter is nearing its end, I have that little ray of hope that gardening season is almost upon us again. Thank you so much for coming along on another garden adventure, finally getting Iris reticulata in the ground. And I hope that if you have a plant out there that you're like, oh, one day I'll have this plant, today's the day. I hope you put it on your little wish list and you make it happen this year, because guess what? We only have one life and you totally deserve to have the garden of your dreams. Okay, I'm gonna see you in the next one. And in the meantime, say hello to your garden for me. Bye.